What a day we have ahead in the SEC men's basketball slate here to break down just a couple of those games. I'm William Galloway to give you some nuggets on today's games and contest. Tipping off first at noon on the SEC Network, Missouri at Mississippi State. The Bulldogs are 8-6 at home this year, but Missouri got a huge win and has a lot of momentum going into this game. They beat the Tennessee Volunteers on it was a home game for Missouri, so on their own floor, as we talk about Missouri, 4-point win on Tuesday night. So great one to start the day off, followed by Vanderbilt at Kentucky, 1 o'clock on ESPN. Vanderbilt, obviously the number 25 team currently in the country. Both teams also in this game, they won their midweek, and both teams are tied for fifth in the league. So we look at a lot of these games and we look around the slate and obviously, everything has to do with seeding right now, not just NCAA tournament seeding, but more importantly, SEC tournament seeding coming up in Nashville. Each of these games down the stretch proving to be pivotal as these some teams are trying to fight for a double bye, some teams are just trying to fight for a bye and get out of Wednesday. One of those teams that more than likely will only be playing on Wednesday is South Carolina, and they travel to Georgia 2:30 on the SEC network. Both of these teams, Gamecocks and Bulldogs, lost their midweek game, so they're trying to bounce back and be victorious. I do like Georgia in this one as they've been playing well as of the past few weeks, despite some trouble and kind of a bumpy ride, bumpier than Bulldog fans would want. But nonetheless, Georgia in this game looking for a win, and this win would be the 20th of the season. That would be the third straight year that Mike White and the Georgia Bulldogs have had a 20 plus win season. Something of note there for you. We keep talking about that tied for fifth spot in the SEC. Another one of those teams is Texas A&M. They host the Texas Longhorns at 3 o'clock on ESPN2. Now, here's something to watch for in this game. Texas out-rebounded Florida just by one, but they still out-rebounded Florida in their loss. That was played in the Moody Center on Wednesday night. That was a 6 o'clock tip. So the size has obviously been an issue for Texas A&M all year long, and with despite the Aggies getting the win in the Moody Center, it's obviously hard to beat a team twice. Also, a thing I'm looking at in this game is this the game that Ruben Dominguez comes back and gets hot from deep? What's going to happen with the Spanish sniper? One of the best shooters in the country has not been playing well and getting a lot of shots off as of late, but Zach Clements has picked up the pace and played really well. He had a great game for the Aggies in their midweek. One of the better games of the weekend, Alabama at Tennessee, 5 o'clock ESPN. Now, Tennessee, if you follow this rivalry at all, specifically in basketball, has won 7 of the last 10, including 5 straight over Nate Oates and Alabama. So Alabama is still fighting for that 2 spot as you look at the SEC tournament standings and as we stand with, as of now, 3 games left to go in league play. So Alabama really trying to propel itself to that 2 spot, no worse than 3, but Tennessee does stand alone at that 4 spot. So this game has a lot to do with conference tournament ratings. As I mentioned, 5 straight for Tennessee. Alabama and Nate Oates really trying to stop that streak. We'll see if the Crimson Tide can feast in the Food City Center later today. Oklahoma plays at LSU. That game is at 5 o'clock on the SEC network. All right. Game of the week. Everyone's talking about it. You know about it if you follow college basketball in any capacity. Florida hosting Arkansas. Top 20 showdown. Number 7, Florida, who's underranked, by the way, should be significantly higher than 7. I doubt their 6 teams would be better than them. Obviously, there's good ball going on outside the league, but Florida leading the SEC right now. Hosting Arkansas, 7:30 Central tip time on ESPN. Acuff and Hall. You hear all about this game, and you'll hear all about it for the rest of the day as you watch ESPN and their family of networks. But hear this. Florida has won 8 straight games, and they're 12-1 at home. You scratch that Auburn loss, they're undefeated at home. And so I'm really excited about this one. All the eyes of the college basketball world will be on it. Matchup wise, we talked about Acuff, we talked about Hall. I mean, it doesn't get better than this game. This game obviously has huge implications. Arkansas, another one of those teams tied with Alabama. Alabama and Arkansas tied for second right now. Florida sitting alone, the top of the SEC. So this is a huge game. As you know, College Game Day is there. Florida hosting that one once again, 7:30 Central on ESPN. Auburn hosting Ole Miss at 7:30 on the SEC Network. A must win for Auburn, as any game at this point is a must win, as Auburn is probably a loss away from being on the outside looking in, but currently a bubble team. They got to take care of business against Ole Miss. Ole Miss has lost 10 straight. They don't look great. All hope has maybe not been lost. Maybe they have one more in them to pull an upset, but Auburn fighting for its life right now. That's a look at the SEC going on today. It's going to be a great slate of games. Encourage everybody to tune in and also subscribe to my channel as I try to do as many of these type video previews with a little stat and a little bit of tidbits as much as possible throughout the season. I'm William Galloway. Thank you for watching. See you soon.